Hey, SweetWork Nation. Today I'm joined by Eli Lawyersmith. He is graduating from Kelley School of Business this spring, and he has had a lot of experience in the topic we're going to cover today, which is job interview tips. We feel that there's three phases to a job interview. There's the preparation, there's the execution, and there's a follow-up. So with that, let's jump in. Eli is our expert. Preparation for an interview. What are some tips in prepping someone for that interview setting?
Yeah, so there's two main things to think about when you're prepping for interviews. On one hand, it's company research and things that you should know about the company before going into an interview with them. And on the other hand, it's bucketing your experiences into four main types of questions that you might see on that interview. Those buckets are experience, leadership, goals, and skills. If you kind of think about experiences that fit into each one of those buckets, you should be good to go for the interview.
Perfect. So now we're prepped and we get into that moment of time when we're a little nervous going into it. So help set us up to have a productive interview from a tips perspective.
Yes, so I like to always start my interviews with a firm handshake. Mention the person's name that you're interviewing with. It's a great way to start the interview. But as far as the actual interview goes, make sure you're engaged, you're staying locked in throughout the whole conversation, and you're asking really good questions. That also helps you stand out. And then one thing that I see people struggle with all the time is not staying casual. They want to see that you can have a conversation, they want to talk to you and get to know you better, but some people like to go in buttoned up, they feel like they have to be robotic, but that's not the case. Definitely feel free to be casual and just talk like you're having a conversation.
I love the human connection on that one in particular. So let's move to follow-up. So now we've had the interview, and what's it look like to follow up with your potential employer?
So obviously it depends on the company. Companies are structured differently with the recruiters and interviewers, but I typically will send an email or a text directly to the person who I interviewed with to thank them for their time and ask any follow-up questions that I still have. And then I will stay in touch with the recruiter for the next week or so just to see where they are in the process and if there's anything else I need to do on my end.
I love that you're taking the action upon yourself as part of the follow-up. I think that's a key factor here. So those are just some interview tips to think about. Eli, thanks for joining us today and giving us your expertise. And I hope it's helpful to you and anyone in your network that could benefit from this. Take care, everybody.